Joined now on the show by UFC fighter Aljamain Sterling. The Funkmaster will be fighting Bryan Carraway as part of a huge card this weekend for UFC Fight Night 88. Aljamain, welcome to the show.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me.
Well, you finally got your fight with Carraway coming up this weekend. You've been asking for it for a while now. What does it mean for you to finally be able to step in the octagon against this man?
This means a lot to me in terms of the pressures of me calling out somebody and getting my wish and having to back up everything I've been saying. And you know what? I'm all about it. This is what I wanted. I wanted the challenge to face another top 10 competitor and arguably top 5 in my opinion. I mean, he went neck and neck with Rafael Sunsao, just beat a WEC champion, Eddie Wineland. So I got my hands full. I think I got probably the toughest guy in the top 10 right now in front of me, and I'm excited about the challenge. And you know what? I got to beat Carraway if I want to be able to state my case for a world title.
For those who aren't really aware, where does this beef come from? What exactly happened between you two to be such a bitter enemies at this point?
You know what? I think it's because I just like to make a lot of jokes, you know. This is part of my humor, part of the person I am. I make jokes, and some people find it funny, some people don't. And apparently Carraway doesn't find my shenanigans funny, so whatever, you know. I don't really have any hate towards the guy. It was more so me getting the fight that I wanted. And I wanted the toughest fight that I could get within the top 10, and Carraway was that guy. He's the grappler. He's a competent striker on the feet. And it's about the challenge. You know what? I just feel like I took the tougher fight. I wanted the tougher fight, and I got it.
Now, you have one of the best Twitter games in all the UFC, I must say. And also, you can lay the trash talk down. But when it's reciprocated back to you, does it ever get to you at all, or do you just realize it's part of selling this fight and getting the most eyes on your matches?
It doesn't really get to me, but I definitely try to pay attention to the things that my opponents are saying to see what type of person they are, kind of thing. You can kind of gauge a person's character and what they're all about based on some of the things that they say. And Carraway has said some pretty douchebaggery stuff in terms of like wanting to elbow, knock Ronda Rousey's teeth down her throat and break her arm. It's like, and elbowing Kat Zingano at the wings, like just like little stuff like that. Just never sat well with me with the guy. But outside of that, man, you can say whatever you want. It doesn't really bother me. It just, if anything, it probably just gives me more motivation to just kind of be like, I told you so kind of thing. So I like the talk. The banter gets me to train harder, and it keeps me more focused throughout the camp instead of just a regular opponent. You just kind of just picked up Joe Schmo, and there's no real drive to want to get through the fight camp. 8 weeks is a long time to train for one fight for 15 minutes, So to make it fun throughout the training camp, I think it just makes it a little bit better.
We're talking with Aljamain, the Funkmaster Sterling, who will be taking part taking a fight against Bryan Carraway as part of UFC Fight Night 88. He'll be the main event on UFC Fight Pass, and if you want to go subscribe, I would recommend doing so because you do not want to miss this fight coming up on Sunday. Now, I have to ask, I've been following you on Twitter for a while now, and what's the deal with you and Paige Vanzant?
There's no deal with Paige and I. Paige is just really cool. I actually met her the first time at the Fighter Summit. Me, her, Jessica I, Juliana Pena, and a couple other people, and we all hung out. It was just good times, good vibes, and she was really cool. Pretty much down to earth. I think she was not even 21 at the time, and she was just really, just one of those down to earth girls. You could just tell how excited she was about where she was, her position in life, and everything. I thought that was really cool to see something like that. It was kind of refreshing. And, it's just nice to see her do well. And that's pretty much all that really is. I guess some people kind of try to make it more than what it should be. I got a little heat for that video from my girlfriend, which was pretty funny. But I told my girl, I was like, listen, I see this girl like once every 5 or 6 months. There's like literally no threat there to even be alarmed about. She's a good person, and I'm chilling. And, yeah, she's doing her thing. I'm doing my thing.
As long as you stay out of the doghouse, right?
Yeah, got to stay out of the doghouse.
Well, you talked about Carraway being a top 10 fighter. and you're undefeated so far in your UFC and MMA career. Do you feel like a win on Friday would give you the, I guess, the heir to the throne for the next shot for the title belt coming up?
Yeah, definitely, 100%. I just can't see how Almeida beating Cody Garbrandt gives him a title shot. I think Almeida's ranked 6 or 7, and I just don't know who he has beaten in the top 10. Almeida's not even, Garbrandt's not top 10. He's not even ranked. If Garbrandt were to beat Almeida, then that makes more sense. But even Almeida, I don't understand how Almeida is top 10. He didn't beat a top 10 guy. So I'm just kind of at a point where I'm fighting the guy who's beaten these other guys, who's fought these top 5 guys. So for me to beat a guy like that, I think it makes all the sense in the world in terms of the resume. And if I go out there and I finish Carraway in impressive fashion, I think I will definitely state my case and solidify myself as the number 1 contender in this division.
Speaking of the
3 top 10 guys.
Oh, absolutely. Well, speaking of the title, too, coming up UFC 199, Cruz and Faber, who do you think is going to come out on top in that one?
You know what? I like Faber. I respect everything he does. He does look like he's in phenomenal shape, but I'm leaning towards Cruz. I think Cruz made a phenomenal comeback with his knee injuries, and he looked great out there against TJ. You know, you could tell he hasn't really missed a beat yet, and I just think he's just faster, younger guy, and I do think Faber really wants to get this win badly, but I don't know. If he doesn't change his game plan, I'm definitely going to say Cruz utilizes his footwork once again, and he gets the win.
And finally, my name is Bryan. I know you're fighting a Bryan. Pretend I'm Mr. Carraway. What would you want to say to me right in the lead up into the fight coming up on the Fight Pass on UFC this Sunday?
Bryan, you don't want this more than me. You're there sitting with your girlfriend right now, all coddled up. I don't think you want this anymore. I'm the new young lion coming up, and I want this more than you do. And it's my time. There's no way you can beat me. You don't want this more than I do. Plain and simple. Come get some.
Aljamain Sterling will be taking on Bryan Carraway as part of UFC Fight Night 88. He'll be the main event on UFC Fight Pass, so go out, subscribe right now, and support this young man who's going to be a UFC champion in just a couple of short months, I'm sure of it. Aljamain, thank you very much for your time, and best of luck on Sunday.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.